had been long, but Jungkook had changed. He was no longer the ruthless mafia leader who ruled the street with an iron fist. He had left that world behind, trading the violence and chaos for boardroom and tailored suit. He was now a businessman running a legitimate empire he had built from the ground up. But no amount of success could fill the void he carried, the family he had lost, the love he had destroyed, and the son he had never truly known. When Ryan reached out to him after 7 years, it feels like the chance he had been silently praying for. He had spent years regretting his choices, but now he had an opportunity to make things right. Ryan wasn't sure what to expect when she walked into the sleek glass building that housed Jungkook's company. She was nervous, her heart pounding as she clutched the strap of her bag. When Jungkook walked into the room, she barely recognized him. He was dressed in a sharp suit, his tattoo peeking out from under his cuffs. His once long hair was now neatly styled, and his piercing gaze had softened. But though it still carried the intensity that had always unnerved her. Ryan, he breathed, his voice low and filled with emotion. It's been a long time. She nodded, her defense up. It has, but I am not here for us, Jungkook. Unwoo had been asking about his father. I thought it was the time. His jaw tightened, and for a moment he looked as though he might break. Unwoo, he whispered, the name rolling off his tongue like a prayer. I want to meet him, please. Ryan hesitated but nodded. This is your chance, Jungkook. Don't waste it. The day Jungkook met his son was one he would never forget. They met at a quiet park, the kind of place where families spent lazy afternoons. Jungkook arrived early, dressed casually in hopes of making a good impression. When Ryan arrived with Unwoo, Jungkook breath hitched. His son was a spitting image of him, same dark eyes, same mischievous smile. Mommy, is that my dad? Unwoo asked, tilting his head curiously. Ryan nodded yes. Sweetheart, this is your dad. Jungkook knelt, his heart pounding as he looked into the eyes of the boy he had missed watching grow up. Hi Unwoo, he said softly, his voice trembling. I am your dad. I have wanted to meet you for so long. Unwoo stared at him for a moment before grinning. Do you like dinosaurs? I love dinosaurs. Jungkook let out a laugh, relief washing over him. Dinosaurs? I love them too, but maybe you can teach me all about them. Unwoo nodded enthusiastically, grabbing Jungkook's arm. Come on, I have a T-Rex at home. As Ryan watched them bond, she felt a flicker of something she hadn't felt in years, hope. Jungkook wasn't just a father who had missed time, he was a man filled with regret. One night after tucking Unwoo into the bed, Ryan found him sitting alone in the living room, staring at an old photo of the three of them. I ruined everything, he said quietly, not looking up. I hurt you, Ryan. I wasn't the man you deserve. I don't know if I will ever forgive myself for that. Ryan crossed her arms, her voice steady but soft. You're here now, Jungkook. That's what matters. But forgiveness, that takes time. He looked up at her, his eyes shimmering with unshed tears. I don't just want forgiveness. I want to be the man you and Unwoo can rely on. I want to fix what I broke, even if it takes the rest of my life. Despite the heaviness of the past, moment of lightness begins to fill their days. Unwoo was full of energy and curiosity, constantly pulling Jungkook into his world. One afternoon they were baking cookies together, or at least attempting to. Dad, you're doing it wrong, Unwoo exclaimed, watching as Jungkook tried to roll out the dough. I am doing it exactly like the recipe says, Jungkook protested, his hands covered in flour. No, you're supposed to make it look like a dinosaur, Jungkook said, grabbing a cookie cutter and demonstrating. Ryan laughed from the doorway, watching as Jungkook struggled to mold the dough into something resembling a T-Rex. By the time they were done, the kitchen was a mess, but the sound of Unwoo's laughter made it all worth it. The more time Ryan spent with Jungkook, the more she saw the man he had become. He wasn't just trying to be a good father, he was trying to show her that he still loved her. One evening after Unwo had fallen asleep, Jungkook invited Ryan to dinner at his place. The table was set with candles, soft music playing in the background. "You don't have to do all this," Ryan said, her voice tinged with surprise. "I wanted to," Jungkook replied, pulling out a chair for her. "I wanted to show you that I can be different, that I am different." As the night went on, they talked about everything: his regret, her struggles, and the life they had built apart. And when the evening ended, Jungkook walked her to her car. "I know I can't erase the past," he said, his voice soft, firm. "But I'll spend every day turning to prove to you that I am worth a second chance." Ryan's heart raced as she looked up at him. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to believe that maybe, just maybe, they could have a future together. Months later, their lives had become a blend of laughter, love, and a second chance. Jungkook was fully integrated into Unwo's life, attending every soccer game, school play, and parents-teacher meeting. One quiet evening, as they sat on the couch together, Unwo slipped between them. Jungkook reached for Ryan's hand. "Thank you," he said softly. "For what?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "For giving me a second chance, for letting me love you again." Ryan smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. "We are a team now, Jungkook, and this time we will do it right." And as they sat there watching their son sleep peacefully, they knew they had finally found their way back to each other.